reason that Ridge Meadows Recycling is as effective and as efficient as it is because of the passion of the folks that started it.
My parents were members of SPEC, the Society for Promoting Environmental Conservation, and somebody had gone to the first Earth Day in Vancouver and came back with the idea of recycling.
Well, the society started with 5 members that were willing to stand up.
We had the philosophy that you think globally but act locally, and this was one thing we could do, is start this recycling movement.
I think they settled on recycling because it was something that they could do proactively, and they felt they could actually make a positive difference rather than just kind of protesting things and being against things.
People ask me, oh, yeah, those are the hippie days. I said, I wasn't a hippie. Well,
neither was
I don't know.
I was a teacher and he was an electrician.
Yeah, but you know, you have the idea is that this is something you got to put some time into. If you don't do it, who does?
So I went with my little 4-month-old baby and my girlfriend, and we went to Belkin Paperboard company and said, well, if we gather up newspaper, will you buy it from us? I was the marketeer. And they said, yes, we'll buy your newspaper, and but it had to be bundled.
The collection depot was in the house next door here, where we are now, and that was the first collections depot. I used to be in a lot of the parades. They would dress me up in like newspaper boxes, and for the Christmas parade, they dressed me up in like the Christmas present box, and so we'd walk down the street. And of course, I'm not going to do that to my kids. They just don't know yet. Yeah.
Well, Dave and Julie, really, the heart and soul, you know, Julie, I always consider her the mother of recycling because she just had such a clear vision of how recycling should be and how people should be too.
We had this one rickety truck and we worked out of the dump, which just had a bunch of sheds and a fenced off metal yard with leachate running through the center of it. And the bears.
Back when I was in grade 5 at Glenwood Elementary, Julie came to my school and they were involved with SPEC at that time, and they gave us an environmental awareness talk and about recycling. And I remembered that to this day. And it impacted me a lot. And that was sort of some of the way that I patterned my life was on part of that talk. So when I had the opportunity to come to Maple Ridge and work for that society, I jumped at it.
As we grew, we worked really hard to get a council liaison.
And now it's a partnership with the municipality in doing the recycling operation. And the part of that is because we had such a tenacious group way back at the start.
Over time, we built solid relationships with, you know, the engineering department, with all of Municipal Hall. It's
about relationships and working together, and that's how we've gotten to where we are today. And a credit, you know, we're reaping the benefits of some very visionary folks.
We have a municipality who believes they'd rather fund recycling than garbage. It was that fundamental in the very beginning, and it still is.
So Ridge Meadows is unique in a way that we're a community-based, not-for-profit charitable organization.
Maple Ridge believes in a multi-stream, multi-sort system.
We do source separate, and that makes we have a better quality product than other people. So we can demand a little bit more in the downtimes. People know that if they're going to buy from somebody, they tend to buy from us first because they know that the product is cleaner.
And that's why when we had the bins on the truck, we figured we could keep each thing separate and not have it contaminated. If you're going to mix it together, you got to sort it out. This way, you don't mix it in the first place, you don't have to sort it.
Somebody described it as trying to unscramble an egg, that once you mix it together, it's a lot harder to sort out. So because everything is separated from the beginning, it's a clean stream, and there is less waste in that. There's more that is able to be recycled because it's not mixed with other things.
In Maple Ridge, people who sort, They own the fact that they are they're part of making reusables. You know, they aren't just throwing away their trash.
One of the things that our society is very proud of is we try to market all of our commodities to local markets. So our paper from Maple Ridge, the newspaper, and the office paper goes from Maple Ridge to Langley, where they now make it into drink holders, and Tim Hortons then gives it back to the community. We also send our plastic to the processing plant in Richmond called Merlin Plastics, and they pelletize it and then sell it to the local North American market to make into new things like Gore-Tex and carpets and that sort of product. So again, a local market.
Bill Elder, one of the board members from the Recycling Society, said that the residents of Maple Ridge are the only ones in the Lower Mainland that truly understand the true cost of getting rid of trash.
If you as an individual resident have to pay to have your garbage taken off the curb, you are going to do everything you can to reduce your costs. So that has been the intent of Maple Ridge and our council since they joined with the society back in 1972. They wanted people to understand the value of recycling and the cost of garbage.
So the challenges that I see, even as now that I'm on the board and president, I saw the challenges as they were going along. The volumes are increasing, more people moving here, more storage, especially if markets are down. You know, they do a lot of volume out of a small area.
At the beginning, we were a small grassroots organization, and we started working with, through grants from the federal government, with people with developmental disabilities. Today we have a program that we call Supported Work. One of the things that we've done is we have designed a work site that will allow people with a variety of skills and abilities to experience success in their jobs. Many of the people that come to us have gone through a lot of rejection and failures because they may not have the kinds of job transferable skills that are required in a typical work environment. So we've designed a place where these people succeed in a work setting.
We're looking towards the next 40 years and seeing what big changes are coming up on the horizon. A big one is the EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility Programs. That's kind of becoming the future of recycling, is manufacturers and industry taking more of a role in it. So the responsibility of the end of life of commodities is going from municipalities back to the manufacturers and retailers that produce the materials.
We have to adapt. We always ask people to change how they do things. We have to do the same thing. And because there is some things that are going to be inevitable, I think. And so I'd rather have the society in as part of it, as a conscience on this thing, rather than on the outside looking in.
40 years ago when we started, recycling was kind of on the fringe. In 40 years, people will not understand not doing it. It will just be what you do.
I just see it growing and being an alternative to garbage. And in every way, I see the Recycling Society now taking on issues of composting and not just trying to educate people of how to do it at home, but, you know, looking toward providing that service for people door to door.
Although we go to all the environmental events in town, we also go to a lot of the community events. So we're trying to cross over and reach people, all the people in the community.
There's a better way to reach people, and especially younger people, through social media, and we've been making a lot of videos. And so we did stop motion about what goes into each bag to be sorted, and we have a YouTube channel and we have a Facebook page, and we're redoing our website to make it more interactive. We're able to kind of bring other organizations and other groups into what we do as well, and kind of raise the awareness of the residents of Maple Ridge.
Last year in 2010, Maple Ridge recycling diversion rate was about 52%, and we know that an additional 36% of the garbage that passes through the Maple Ridge transfer station is organics. So that is where we're looking to the future. If we divert that 36% and the other 52%, we will be well above Metro Vancouver's target of 75%.
And I look at the totals that they're doing now, and I think, wow, you know, this is really neat. You know, all the things that we looked at and we fought for at that time and said that this is possible are happening.
All along our history, We were told that what we were aiming at was impossible. We were never going to achieve 50% reduction. And we achieved all of our goals and more. And now that we have zero waste as a goal, the society is really still very much committed and passionate about doing this work, and we will get there.
I really see the ideal future that they had in mind and were working so hard for, and I am proud to be following that and bringing my own skills and experience to where I see the future going with the society.